If you're looking to get involved with sports betting or you're looking for tips to help refine your game and make you more profitable, then you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to learn the ins and outs of sports betting to help make you more money. Welcome to BetStare, where we provide educational videos on various sports betting topics from beginner to expert. If you learned something new along the way with this one, then make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more educational videos just like this all the way through your sports betting journey. This is our Sports Betting for Dummies video. Perhaps sports betting has just become regulated in your area, or for whatever reason, you're looking to just get started. You're probably feeling excited, but you also may be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. If that's the case, then fret not. In this video, we're going to be going through the basics of sports betting. We're going to cover what you need to know to sign up, the basics behind betting, how to make winning easier, betting smart, and at the end of the video, I'll share some winning strategies to help make you more profitable even out the gate. So make sure you stick around for the entire video so you don't miss out on anything. So if sports betting has just become legal in your area, or perhaps it already is, what are the first steps? Well, start by choosing a licensed sportsbook that is available to you in your state, in your country, or your region. Ensure that it is a reputable sportsbook by looking online for various reviews in the sportsbook to make sure that you're going with the right place. Once you verify that that sportsbook is available to you in your region, then see what sort of sign-up offers they are providing to customers. Using these promotions is a great way to get started in sports betting by lowering your risk and also increasing your bankroll. These promotions can come through things like risk-free bets, free bets, or deposit matches, and more. A risk-free bet is when a losing bet is refunded in free bets, either in full or partially up to a certain extent. Free bets are just that, free bets where if you win, you keep the winnings, however, you do not keep the stake. A deposit match is when a sportsbook matches your deposit, either in full or partially, but often with restrictions. Once all of this has been scouted, determine how much money you want to set aside specifically for sports betting. This is going to be your bankroll. Once this has been decided, determine the best way to optimally disperse all this money into various sportsbooks that are available to you in your region. You may figure that some sportsbooks you want to put a little bit more money in. Perhaps they have a deposit match that you want to maximize. Perhaps there's better odds at a certain sportsbook, usually compared to another one. Use whatever's available in your region and determine what is best for your strategy. Be aware that some of these bonuses have wagering requirements where you have to place a certain amount of wagers or use a certain amount of money on wagers in order to actually be able to withdraw your winnings. Make sure that you use these promotions wisely because they can really be a great way to build your bankroll as you get started. Now you might be thinking, why don't I just put all of my money into one sportsbook? It is very important to have multiple sportsbooks open for your wagering because, first of all, you can ensure that you're always getting better prices by comparing the odds across sportsbook to sportsbook, but also it's very important to have multiple sportsbook accounts because you can use all of these different sign-up bonuses to your advantage rather than just one. Now that your accounts are ready, let's talk about what's next. Now we're going to talk about odds, which are essential to understanding sports betting. Simply put, odds represent the perceived likelihood of an event happening and how much you can win if you bet on that event. There are three common odds formats: fractional odds like 5 to 1 or 1 to 2, decimal odds like 6.0 or 1.5, and there's American odds with things like plus 500 or minus 200. Whether it's 5 to 1 odds, whether it's 6.0 odds, or whether it's plus 500 odds, these are all the same odds, but they're just showcased differently. The same can be said for 1 to 2, 1.5, and minus 200. While the formats may differ, the core idea is the same. The higher the odds, the more amount of money you can win on a winning wager. However, the higher the odds, the less likely that event is perceived to actually win for you. Sports betting is not just about finding winning bets. Now that may seem a little bit strange to you, but your job as a sports bettor is not just to pick winners. Your job is to find value for your wagers. You can find value for your wagers by ensuring that you are getting a better price than what your perception of what the fair value for that wager should be. If you believe the sportsbook is offering odds that do not accurately reflect the event that you're betting on, then perhaps you're going to be able to find a valuable wager to make. This is how you win in sports betting. Again, it's not about finding the winning side. It's about finding the more valuable side to in turn help you win in the long run. Definitely something that's easier said than done, but the tips throughout the rest of the video will help you along. When it comes to betting, there are three primary types of platforms that you can use, starting with the traditional sportsbook. This is where you bet in real time on games and odds, and you bet using real money, where you can place those wagers wherever you like. There's also daily fantasy sports, or the shortened form DFS. This is where you're more so creating lineups, and you're competing against other players based on how the players that are within your lineup are performing in their event. Think about a standard fantasy sports league. Take that excitement that would accumulate over the course of an entire season and shrink this down into more bite-sized portions. That's what you get at a daily fantasy sports. Lastly, some regions offer you sweepstakes betting. This is where you use a virtual currency that is purchased through real money, a creative way to get around some regions where sports betting may not be completely legal. Each type has its benefits, so explore what works for you. Earlier, we talked about setting a bankroll and the importance of it, but we're going to take a little bit more time to talk about it because it truly is one of the most important aspects of sports betting. As we said, your bankroll is the amount of money you have set aside specifically for sports betting. It's important to set this bankroll and not deviate away from it by adding on more funds to it. Set a bankroll aside that has an amount of money that, in the absolute worst possible case scenario, if you do go bust and lose it all, you would be comfortable with doing that. If you're not comfortable with losing all of that money, then perhaps the bankroll is a little bit too high. One way that is great for helping maintaining and keeping your bankroll is what I would suggest opening up a completely different bank account specifically for your sports betting, so you won't be enticed to add on more funds to it. Anytime you're making a withdrawal from a sports book, you can put that money right back into that specific bank account designed for your bankroll. Again, an easier way to maintain and keep track of the amount of money you have into sports betting. This bankroll is also a great tool to help with your wagering amounts, how much you're going to place on each wager. Bettors use a variety of different percentages from their bankroll, but try to stick between 1 to 5% of your bankroll placed on each wager you want to make. If you're feeling a bit more confident, go up to 5%. If you're not feeling as confident but still feel like you have a good bet with an edge, maybe go to 1%. This is a great way to help stop you burning through your cash too quickly and keeping you in the game. When you're losing a little bit more, your bankroll shrinks and therefore your wager on each bet shrinks. When you're winning a little bit more and you're feeling a little bit more comfortable with your knowledge on sports betting, your percentage obviously stays the same, but the amount of money you're wagering on each bet goes up a little bit more. Do not gamble what you cannot afford to lose. When the fun is taken out of sports betting, maybe it's time to stop, because sports betting, at the end of the day, it can help you win money, but it also should be fun. To find good bets, you'll need to do some research. Stats, injury reports, and historical data can be a fine area to start, but some of your strongest bets should come from comparing odds across multiple sportsbooks to find off-market odds to make wagers on. And no matter what you're betting, it ensures you're getting the best value. Line shopping is your friend. Supplement your knowledge for sports betting by actually watching the sport you want to bet on. And if you're just getting started, perhaps start off with the sport you watch the most, the one you have the deepest knowledge of. Now, we may be laying it out here like it's easy, but it is definitely not. And there are a lot of mistakes you could be making, especially at the start of your sports betting journey, that you want to avoid. Here are the 3 big mistakes you should be looking out for. The first mistake is betting with your heart. Like when you place a wager on something, no matter what the odds are. You put it in your mind that you want to wager on a certain side or a certain total or whatever it may be. You put it in your mind that you want to wager on it, and no matter what the odds say, you are going to bet on it. This is an absolute no-no. You should never finalize a bet that you want to make before actually checking the price. A good exercise when starting out is to think about what the odds would have to be for you to want to bet a certain market before checking what they are. If it is at that price that you came up with or better, then perhaps you're in a position where you have a good bet. The second mistake is a big one, and that is chasing losses. If you lose a bet, don't immediately place another one. Try and just win that money back that you lost, especially with wagers where you're doubling up your normal wager size to try and win all of that money back in one go. Losing days happen even to the very best sports bettors, so stay patient, stick to your system, and don't go bust. Lastly, avoid overconfidence, and this is pretty much the opposite of chasing your losses, but it's still a mistake that some bettors may make. Just because you had a few good wins doesn't mean the next bet is guaranteed. Continue to stay disciplined with your unit sizing. Look over a long sample. If you're building your bankroll, then perhaps you can scale up, but ensure it is truly a large sample that you can be confident in. Stick to your strategy and avoid these mistakes. Nothing can guarantee winning in sports betting, but these tips will certainly help you get there. Now you've got the basics, but remember, sports betting is about having fun and staying smart with your money. If you enjoyed this guide and found it helpful, then please make sure you drop a like, and if you want more educational videos just like this for help all throughout your sports betting journey, then make sure you are subscribed to BetStamp as well.